Warning, watching this video may cause IQ to drop in normal humans.
What are the most difficult problems he or she will face in 2008?
There you go. Why don't we just ask Osama Obama what is
because, you know, it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
But resist we much. We must and we will much about that be committed.
I'm with the 11th Amendment, so is it the 11th Amendment that 14th is it?
We avow the First Amendment. We stand with that and say that people have a right to have a gun to protect.
On this Memorial Day, as our nation honors its unbroken line of fallen heroes, and I see many of them in the audience here today.
It's a three-letter word, jobs, J-O-B-S, jobs.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
You know, under my plan of a cap-and-trade system, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. Even, you know, regardless of what I say about whether coal is good or bad, because I'm capping greenhouse gases, coal-powered plants, you know, natural gas, you name whatever the plants were, whatever the industry was, they would have to retrofit their operations. That will cost money. They will pass that money on to consumers.
If you've been successful, you didn't get there on your own. You didn't get there on your own. I'm always struck by people who think, well, it must be because I was just so smart. There are a lot of smart people out there. It must be because I worked harder than everybody else. Let me.
As you know, I got a lot of support from this Indian Pact.
That's where, and more to come, I think.
Yeah,
so,
no, I've had a great relationship. In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
This week there was a tragedy in Kansas. 10,000 people died. An entire town destroyed.
Proposition 19 won't even legalize marijuana. It will still be legal under federal law, and Attorney General Eric Holder has indicated he will enforce federal law vigorously.
Abraham Lincoln helped to build the interstate.
Guess what this liberal would be all about? This liberal will be all about socializing, would be about basically taking over and the government running all of your companies.
And just really brainwash people into thinking about guns in a vastly different way.
If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun, have the shells, a 12-gauge shotgun, and I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
Is the world flat? Is the world flat? Yes. I don't know.
What do you think?
I never thought about it, Whoopi. Is the world flat? I never thought about it.
You never thought about whether the world was right?
The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
And all of a sudden, he's made not only a 180 turnaround, but a 360 turnaround.
It's going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change. And your biggest issue is your biggest issue is how are we going to pay for it? And like this is the war. This is our World War II.
Proud to say that every single locally endorsed candidate that we mobilized for won our election.
Right.
Cynthia Nixon did a phenomenal job.
She lost your district by 30 points.
That was the best bill they could get out at that particular time. I actually don't know what a barrel shroud is. I think it's a shoulder thing that goes up.
No, it's not.
A barrel shroud is a covering attached to the barrel of a firearm that partially or completely encircles the barrel, which prevents operators from injuring.
Come on. This is crazy. You can't certainly use this for hunting.
But some of these bullets, as you saw, have an incendiary device on the tip of it, which is a heat-seeking device.
We have federal regulations and state laws that prohibit hunting ducks with more than 3 rounds, and yet it's legal to hunt humans.
There's been a lot of people that have been shot by an unloaded gun, and whether it's loaded or not, it still presents a threat.
Majority of private citizens are not allowed to own fully automatic weapons. It's obvious for anyone. Okay, well, the gun law says that you and I can't just randomly go out and buy an automatic weapon, so let's deal with the facts here. A semi-automatic weapon is a gun that you and I are allowed to own, and in different places they have different rules. But to imply that anyone can walk out and buy an automatic weapon is just not true, Don.
What do you mean anyone can't? Well, listen, during the theater shooting in Colorado, I was able to go and buy an automatic weapon, and I, maybe have shot a gun 3-4 times in my life. I don't even live in Colorado. I think most people can go out and...
This is a ghost gun. This right here has ability with a .30 caliber clip to disperse with 30 bullets within half a second. 30 magazine clip in half a second.
Discussion that reinforces the sanctity of this nation and how well it is that we have lasted some 400 years operating under a Constitution.
Security. You know that these weapons can shoot down airplanes, they can blow up a railroad.
We have been fearful of letting our animals out because all of these law-abiding citizens are shooting back and forth in front of our house and behind our house and around our house.
I would say only that if some of my judgments were wrong, and some were wrong.
I'll tell you, it's 3 agencies of government when I get there that are gone. Commerce, education, and the, what's the third one there?
Obscene period in our nation's history. No, not our nation's, but in World War II. I mean, we all lived in this century. I didn't live in this century, but in this century's history.
Pentagon spending.
If people want to really blow up one figure here or one word there, I would argue that they're missing the forest for the trees. I think that there's a lot of people more concerned about being precisely, factually, and semantically correct than about being morally right.
People don't know about Puerto Rico, and one of the things that we discovered about ourselves
is that a very long time ago, generations and generations ago, my family consisted of Sephardic Jews.
We do not have an economic recovery package. 500 million Americans lose their jobs.
We look at these figures and we say, oh, unemployment is low, everything is fine, right? Well, unemployment is low because everyone has 2 jobs. Unemployment is low because people are working 60, 70, 80 hours a week.
So you're
I swim 2.5 kilometers a day.
I hope you have not burned too many brain cells, but if you do, there's always work in the government.